Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Today's show, I got 6 safeties that the Raiders could look at signing in free agency if they do not bring back Karl Joseph. But you got me right now. I do want the Raiders to bring back Joseph because I think when you're talking about a free agent for the most bang for your buck at the safety position, I think it's Joseph. Now, let's rewind a little bit because last May, the Raiders, they elected to decline his 5th-year option, which would have made Joseph's salary jump up to $6.46 million. The reason why I think that the Raiders can get Joseph at about $4 to $5 million is because I still think that Joseph wants to prove that he can get it done. He started to play better in 2018. He started to play better in 2019 before going on the IR. Now, sure, when drafted in 2016, the first-round pick, he didn't really live up to the hype. There's no doubt about that. But Mike Mayock, John Gruden, they're trying to build a culture. They're trying to build a culture around players that want to be Raiders. Karl Joseph has already said that he wants to come back. And between you and me, I've looked at the comments, and I've talked to some Raider players myself. They want Joseph to come back. Now, this is what the depth chart looks like right now. He is scheduled, obviously, as a free agent. But I think Worley as a cornerback one's an okay option. Tre Boston started to step up a little bit. But with Joseph and Abram back there at safety, we still really haven't seen it yet. We saw it for one game. That's not enough of a sample size to me to move on from Joseph. Now, today's show is around free agents, and it's around Karl Joseph as well. So, should the Raiders re-sign Karl Joseph? I want you to give me a Y for yes, and I want you to give me an N for no. Now, I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. So, while the ad is playing on YouTube, I want you to scroll on down, and I want you to comment on this, all right? I'm going to make it the pinned comment. Should the Raiders re-sign Karl Joseph? Give me a Y for yes, or an N for no. Now let's talk about the Raiders cap situation real quick before I dive into these 6 players. We are 11th right now in cap space with $54.7 million. The league average is about $41.9. That is right now. Now the reason why I'm going to dive into 6 safeties that the Raiders could sign in free agency, it's because for me, there are only 6 safeties that I would rather have over Karl Joseph. Number 6 on my list, it's Devin McCourty. Now, if you're going to just talk about from a talent standpoint, he might actually be higher. But for the Raiders, I want younger players. And at age 33, sure, he is still playing at a high level. And I think he would be a safe option, and I think he'd be a good leader on our defense. But I'm looking for players who have a chance to become our future. No offense, Devin. At age 33, it's probably not going to happen. But he is very good at playing free safety. I think that's what the Raiders need right now, because I think Jonathan Abram, when he's at his best, is actually strong safety. So the expected contract that I think that you could get from McCourty is probably like a 2-year, $10 to $11 million. But with a player going into a season where he's going to be 33 years old, and I know that he was productive, especially in 2019, with the 5 interceptions. Like, as much as I hate to admit it, I do watch the Patriots a lot. I used to live in Boston. I got family that's in Boston. McCourty had a good year, and he was one of the reasons why the Patriots had the best defense, or one of the best defenses in the NFL. But I don't really know if I want a 33-year-old player over a player like Karl Joseph. Now, I got a goal, okay? I need 1,900 more subscribers till I get to 40K. My goal was to get to 40K by the end of February. So please subscribe. If you know a diehard Raider fan, show them my show and tell them to subscribe. Click that big red button. Or you can take the link below, youtube.com/Raiders Report, like Currently Popular did, like MellyVA678, like Walmart45, TriFam, and the Gemini Man. I appreciate you. This month is all about showing subscribers that I care and showing that I'm just trying to give back to the nation. So subscribe, you get a shout out. Now let's go to number 5 on my list. It's Jimmie Ward, okay? I like Ward because he's going to give you versatility, which again is something that Paul Guenther wants. It's something that all defenses want. Plus, stealing him from the 49ers I think would be pretty sweet. I think we can all agree on that. He can defend the run. He can defend the pass. But the one thing that I really liked about Ward was this year in particular, I guess you could consider it was his breakout year. But Ward has kind of gotten better every single year that he's been in the NFL, and I like that in a young player. Now, I think you could get Ward for another 2-year contract, maybe 3 years, but he's probably going to get $7 to $8 million a year. 2019, though, was by far his best year, which is why I'm not going to offer Ward more than 2 years, 3 years. I don't want to give him a 4-year. I don't want to give him a 5-year. I do still want to see if he can produce the way he did in 2019. If you want to talk about just corners or safeties, I think he was a top 10 safety. I really do. And he was a big reason why, again, the 49ers went from being a 4-12 team to a Super Bowl caliber team. Jimmie Ward had a good year, and I know it's weird seeing a 49er on the show, but he would look a lot better in silver and black. Did you get your loved ones anything for Valentine's Day? Why for yes and for no? If you're saying no, go to chatsports.com/flowers. We got 15% off all gifts, okay? Flowers, chocolates, cookies. If you were kind of that guy that's like, oh man, I forgot, we got you covered. Go to chatsports.com/flowers, because if you don't, you might end up on the free agent market, and I don't know, you might not make my top 10 list. Let's go to number 4 on my list now. Let's go to Tre Boston. Over the last 3 seasons, Boston has quietly been one of the best pure free safeties in the league. And we've done shows like this in the past at Chat Sports. For some reason, Tre Boston, I always feel like is disrespected. Now, I think the Carolina Panthers would be smart to bring him back because they just don't really have anyone on defense whatsoever. But Boston, he might not be as versatile as some of the other players you're going to see on my list. But we need a free safety, and I like the idea that you can rely on Tre Boston to play single safety and then let go. You can let Jonathan Abram do his thing and move up. What's maybe an easier way to help some of our thin linebackers is to let a hard-hitting safety like Jonathan Abram once in a while play linebacker. I think Tre Boston gives you that ability. Now, he is 27 years old. He's not the greatest tackler. I think he's missed it's 25 tackles over the last 2 seasons. But you can get him, I believe, for a 3-year contract, $8 to $9 million. But the fact that he can play single high, double high safety is again something that I know that this Raiders defense wants. I kind of think it's something that it needs. So today's show is all around a free agent safety that the Raiders could go out and sign. My show is about the nation, and I want you to create a voice. So YouTube, Facebook, wherever you see this video, I want you to name a safety that the Raiders should sign. Now, let's go to my next player here, probably producer Monica's favorite player, Clinton-Dix. If you got the joke, type haha in the comments. Former first rounder. He just turned 27, and let's be real, makes plays on the football. Ball skills from Clinton-Dix. I would expect him to get a $9 to $10 million contract, probably in the 4-year range. I don't know if you can look at the first rounder that he was, because 2016 was by far his best year. But he has played in over 900 snaps in every single year since his rookie year in 2014. That's important. He's on the field, which is what we need. Reliable players on the field. Sure, he's going to miss tackles. Some players do. That's just part of the game. But I'll say this. He does at times play a little bit soft. A lot of jokes here. But I want a safety that can make plays, and that's not afraid to make plays. And the fact that I can maybe go out and get Clinton-Dix for $9 to $10 million over 4 years, yeah, guess what? That's a player that I want on my team. Now, if you guys need a new jersey, if you just want some t-shirts, some hats, I got you. Listen up. Go to chatsports.com/NFL jersey. It's a flash sale. They're flying off the shelves. Maybe you don't want a jersey. It's okay. I get it. They're not for everyone. You want a hat? You want a t-shirt? Go to chatsports.com/Raiders sale. We got gear up to 50% off. Maybe you can show your loved ones that, hey, babe, I got you some flowers. Go get me some Raiders gear. Chatsports.com/Raiders sale. My top 2 players, I think they're just clearly better than all the names that you've seen on here. Even Karl Joseph, I'm sorry. But the youngest safety on my list, it's Justin Simmons. Now, I will say, I'd be shocked if the Broncos didn't resign him. But, hey, if the Donkeys are dumb enough to let him go, bring him on in. I would expect him to get somewhere between $14 to $15 million a year. The reason why he's going to make that much money is because he's only 26 years old. And he proved this year that he is a physical safety that can play. I want to say that he can basically do it all, but I feel like saying that is just not really giving you all the information that you guys would need on him. But he did have a breakout year in 2019. I don't want you to just look at the numbers. If you want to look at one number, it's the pass breakups. Justin Simmons' best year was 2019. 2018, I don't want you to look at the tackles because I would argue 2017 was a better year for him than 2018. If you want 2 years to go look at tape on Justin Simmons, look at 2017 and look at 2019, because if that's the guy I'm getting, I am okay giving him a 4-year, 5-year contract where then you're shelling out $14 to $15 million a year. My number one free agent that I want at the safety position, if the Raiders do decide to move on from Karl Joseph, and again, no offense to Karl Joseph, if Anthony Harris wants to be a Raider, sorry, Karl, you got to go. Now, I would actually make the argument that Anthony Harris is probably one of the most underrated players in the entire NFL, not just the safety position, the entire NFL. Go back and look in 2018 where they started putting him back at safety, the Vikings. That defense totally changed. And Anthony Harris totally changed. Hell, I would make the argument that Harris has been the best safety over the last 2 years, not just this past year, over the last 2 years. He's versatile. Dude can defend the pass. Great tackler. That's what I want in a safety. In today's NFL, you need somebody that can do it all. He can be the captain. He can be that player that we need in the back end. And there's something about Anthony Harris pairing up with Jonathan Abram where I might get a little ballsy here. It might be one of the best duos in the entire NFL. I have a lot of high hopes for Abram, and Anthony Harris has already proven that he can lock down an entire secondary. Let's bring him in here in silver and black. But I do want to think about this, okay? Because I think Anthony Harris and Justin Simmons are going to get about the same amount of money due to their age. So let's say that both of them are going to get about 4 years, $14 to $15 million a year. Which safety would you pick? If you're going to go with Anthony Harris, who's 28 years old, I want you to type H. If you're going to go with Justin Simmons, I want you to type S. For me, I will type my H, but I won't really get upset with anybody going with the younger option and a player like Justin Simmons, who also knows the AFC West very well. Now, if you guys watched until the end of the show, hit me up on IG at Mitchell Renz 365. If you think that there's a name that I left off, let me know. I appreciate the people that watch the video until the end. I will interact with everyone that gets in my DMs. So again, if you watch till the end, hit me up at Mitchell Renz 365. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.